It's nice to see little windows into the world and connect. Yeah, yeah, well, so, yeah, that's one of the messages of this whole work is just how do we kind of carry each other through during difficult times. And this is kind of a difficult week. And the work that we do is really relevant, I think. Like if you were to look at our society, it's a traumatized society, and some people have been aware of that, and some people are just coming to realize that, you know. And so I'll just say a few preliminary things just because I think it's important. You know, and this is just kind of where I stand. You know, Black Lives Matter. You know, I think I'm a leader in a community, and that's where I stand, that Black Lives Matter, right? So just wanting to say that. Yeah. I think that there are, and I included a little of this in our content today, that there are particular challenges and issues that are important to consider relative to how to work with trauma from people, yeah, just kind of in terms of different backgrounds. Just some headlines. There's this saying in the trauma literature, if you don't listen to your body, it will start to scream, right? If you don't listen to your body, it will start to scream. If you kind of push it down, kind of, it'll get louder and louder and louder until it really starts to riot inside your body. It starts to kind of say, no, you need to listen to me because you're not listening to me. And that happens at the level of the individual body. And I think it happens at the level of the body politic, right? If we suppress or repress, right, things inside our body and we kind of numb ourselves out or pretend they don't exist, we know that at some point that voice is going to demand to be heard, right? And the same is true, really, at the body politic level, that if we ignore or pretend that certain suffering is not happening and we oppress, you know, it's the same thing, that voice will maybe suffer in silence for a while, try to get heard. If it's not heard, it will start to speak louder and louder until it demands to be heard. And so kind of Martin Luther King said, a riot is the language of the unheard, right? You know, and so, you know, just thinking about that, because there's ways in which our individual bodies riot inside when we ignore them, you know, and kind of that happens in our larger world, kind of when we don't attend to parts of our body politic that are vital and important. So, yeah, just to say that. All right. So, just wanting to kind of, you know, and not, you know, it's interesting. I'm not normally a political person, but, you know, I think the personal is political. So, and I also want to say that the work that everybody's doing, I think, is in this work of coming into our bodies is revolutionary. And I think it's revolutionary in the following sense, that when I come alive in my body and I feel my body, it becomes impossible to do harm to another human being because I feel it in me. Like if I am in touch with my body, I cannot, it becomes physically painful to inflict suffering because I'm sensing my body and I'm sensing your body, and there's that resonant co-feeling, right? And it's only because people become numb that they're able to do horrific acts, right? Yes, body literacy creates empathy, absolutely. And there are, and this is just an opinion, there are kind of institutions and people and positions in power that have a personal investment or have an institutional investment in keeping us numb, in keeping us not feeling, right? And so when we choose to feel, and we choose to feel ourselves, and we choose to let ourselves feel and be touched by others, that is an act of, quiet revolt, right? It's a reclaiming of our own bodily connection, our connection with each other in the world, right? And so, so what you're doing matters, and it's important. Okay, so that's kind of just a prelude introduction. Yeah, well, thank you for, thanks for the snaps. Thanks for letting me touch your heart. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you guys. So thanks. Yeah, I have a little chills. So, all right. So what we're doing matters and is important. And, we'll carry on.